The human brain, the most magnificent and complex piece of technology on the planet. 300,000 years since humans first appeared on Earth, and we still don't understand how it works. It's a profound mystery of nature, beyond human understanding. But what fascinates me most about it is how the brain functions the same for everyone. It's almost scary. It's like we've all been implanted with the same software. Literally everyone has been programmed with the same tendencies and patterns. And those patterns can be really dangerous because they're so deeply hardwired within your brain that they will run on autopilot for the rest of your life. You won't be able to stop them. You won't be able to change them. And my friend, if you deal with them the wrong way, they can start working against you. They can even destroy you. But here's the interesting part. There is a smart way to deal with them. A way that makes you able to use those innate mechanisms to your advantage. As a result, you make them work for you instead of against you. How smart is that? It's literally like hacking your brain. Now, let's be clear, most people don't know how to deal with these mechanisms. I mean, we were never given a manual on how our brain works and how to use it to its full potential. And this lack of knowledge can make your life really dangerous. Because giving a super powerful machine to someone that doesn't know how to use it is extremely risky. It's like giving a jackhammer to someone who never learned how to use one. It's an extremely powerful tool in essence. It can work wonders when you know how to use it, but when you don't know, it can literally ruin your life. Same for your brain. And this is exactly what I want you to avoid. I want you to control your brain, not to be controlled by it. And this is why, in this video, I'm gonna reveal how you can turn your brain into your greatest weapon for success by harnessing 3 deeply ingrained patterns to your advantage. Here's the first hack: winner programming. Have you ever heard the sentence, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with"? Friend, it's not just some random quote that someone threw out there. It's a psychologically proven fact that your brain automatically adapts to the environment in which you live. It's called social contagion. Your mindset, behaviors, and worldview are subconsciously shaped by the people and situations around you. You spend your time with multimillionaires, you'll become one of them. You spend your time with broke and lazy dudes, you'll become one of them. You just rise or sink to whoever you spend most time with. It's the power of comparison. Your brain compares itself and adjusts to the people around you in order to be like them. A friend, you need to understand something really important here. These people subconsciously set your standards, and your brain automatically aligns with them, which can be so dangerous because your brain can't tell the difference between good and bad influences. It aligns with the people around you, no matter who they are. So be smart and use this tendency to your advantage. How? By immersing yourself in a winner environment. Choose to surround yourself with a bunch of multimillionaires. Your brain will raise its standards to match theirs, and achieving those crazy numbers will start to feel normal to you. Now, you probably don't have multimillionaires friends that you can surround yourself with, but you have a cell phone, and you can immerse yourself in what I call a digital winner environment. It consists of only following highly successful entrepreneurs on social media in order to create an inspiring environment that elevates your standards. And let me tell you something, this move changed my life. Because let's be honest, it hasn't always been this easy for me. When I was younger, I was surrounded with small-minded people who saw 10K a month as the ultimate achievement. As a result, I became exactly like them. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're probably experiencing the same exact situation that I was experiencing back then. Everyone around you thinks small and lives small, and you're just becoming one of them. But don't worry, I got good news for you. Everything shifted for me when I started following young, successful entrepreneurs online. I was watching videos of guys making 100K, 500K, 1 million per month every single day. As a result, my beliefs shifted, and my mind started accepting their results as possible for me because I realized these guys were no different than me. My standards raised. What I thought was impossible before became really basic. And let me tell you something, when your brain starts seeing crazy results as basic, you're becoming a really dangerous competitor. The second hack is called dopamine cheat code. My friend, we are all hardwired to chase dopamine, a molecule in your brain that plays a crucial role in the reward mechanism. People like to call it the pleasure molecule because you get dopamine hits when you eat, when you exercise, when you have sex. Basically, dopamine rewards you for doing things that are good for survival and growth. It's your brain's way of saying, good job, keep this up. And that's why I like to call it the achievement molecule. Because every time you finish something, a book, a workout session, a project at work, dopamine is released in your brain to reward you. But we have a problem. Your brain also gets dopamine hits from things like watching TikTok or porn, for example. And here's the catch. These rewards are sent even though you didn't make any effort. Your brain gets tricked into thinking it achieved something, even when it didn't. As a result, people start chasing easy hits instead of real accomplishments. I mean, why would they work hard for dopamine when they can get unlimited amounts without lifting a finger? My friend, you need to understand something important. Your brain is lazy. The easier it can get dopamine, the more appealing it becomes. That's why it instinctively chooses the most effortless thing from all available activities. If you're alone in a room and only have the choice between listening to music, reading a book, watching a Netflix show, going on TikTok, your brain will choose TikTok 99% of the time because it's always seeking that quick dopamine rewards with minimal effort. In this situation, reading a book is probably the least appealing option on the list. And this is where the dopamine cheat code comes into play. You can use your brain's laziness to your advantage by making one smart move. Put yourself in an environment that forces you to be productive in order to get a dopamine reward. Here is how it works. Since your brain always chooses the easiest way to get dopamine, you can trick it into choosing something productive by simply removing all the unproductive options. How? Simply shape the environment around you in a way that makes quick dopamine impossible to reach. If you take away the quick dopamine activities like TikTok, Netflix, music, and replace them with only productive options, your brain will naturally be compelled to choose something productive, as no other choices are available. Let's say your options are exercising, working on your business, reading a book, meditating. Suddenly, reading a book feels much more appealing because your brain is forced to choose the easiest option from what's left. My friend, delete TikTok, Netflix, and all those quick dopamine distractions and leave yourself no other choice but to be productive. The guilty mental hack. The dopamine cheat code was a productivity hack. This one is a discipline hack. It's another way to use the natural mechanisms of your mind to get things done. And before I explain it, I want to warn you. This hack is so powerful that it can become dangerous. Why? Because it triggers a really powerful emotion in our brains that, in this case, we'll use to our advantage. But here's the issue. It's not a positive emotion. This is why it can become dangerous. Now that you're warned, let's begin. The guilty mental hack works by using one of the strongest emotions in the human brain, guilt, to help us stay disciplined. Guilt is an incredibly influential emotion because it has the power to drive action. It's so powerful that it can push you to act even when you don't want to. Why? Because guilt is a very unpleasant emotion to feel, and your brain wants to avoid it at all costs. This is why, even if your brain is super lazy, it would rather act than feel guilt. This is exactly how the guilty mental hack works. It uses the power of guilt to force you to act. In other words, make your mind guilty not to work, and you'll win. If you train your brain to feel guilty when you skip tasks on your to-do list, like not working out, not meditating, not working on your business, not waking up at 6 a.m., then every time you skip a task, your brain will make sure to trigger guilt. And this guilt will be so unpleasant to feel that you'll never skip that task again. Now, here's the question. How do you train your brain to feel guilt when you skip tasks? The answer is simple. You look at someone successful online, and then you look at yourself. You compare their routine to yours. You compare their attitude to yours. Then you compare their money to yours. And you realize how pathetic you look next to them. Then you realize how ridiculous it is to believe that you'll reach the top without putting even 5% of the effort they put in. Once you're disgusted enough with yourself and your situation, I can guarantee you will start feeling guilty for not taking action. This is how you train your brain to feel guilty for not being disciplined. So my friend, do me this favor. Every time you skip a task, think about that successful person online and remember that it's not you and that it will never be you unless you change your fucking behavior. Friend, I think it's enough for today. So thanks for watching and see you next week.